Stop what you're doing right now because there's a massive opportunity on the horizon for your estate agency and it's coming soon. It's a new advertising opportunity that many estate agents are simply going to ignore until it's too late. You want to be one of the first movers when this gets released. This is going to change how clients engage with your business, how they find your business, and how much they trust you before you even turn up on a market appraisal. I am, of course, talking about the news that AI and ChatGPT especially are releasing adverts on their platform. Now, from a user point of view, this isn't amazing news. No one wants to be shown ads. But from a business point of view, this is an enormous opportunity for you and your business. My name is Chris Webb. I'm the owner of the Estate Agent Consultancy. I've been an estate agent for over 20 years. I now coach the top self-employed estate agents in the UK to be the obvious choice for local sellers. Now, it won't be a massive surprise to yourself, but I listen to a lot of podcasts, watch a lot of YouTube videos, and read a lot of books. And something that always comes across to me when I'm reading those content or engaging with that content is there's always a right time and a right place for everybody. So for example, Alex Hormozy, he started doing lots of advertising just when Facebook ads was becoming a really big thing and really rode that wave into having a fantastic business. Lots of estate agents, for example, if you look at the top agents online with regard to social media, lots of them either started around 2020 or just before that stage. As you might imagine, if you're posting on social media and no one can leave their home for like 6 months, then obviously your engagement is going to go through the roof really quickly. So that was a perfect time as an agency or as a business to start posting on socials, because quite literally you had a captive audience sat at home just scrolling their phones. So therefore you could blow up so much quicker. So there's always a moment in time where you can catch that wave and go, now is the perfect opportunity and this can help elevate and rise my business up to where I want it to be much quicker than it would do normally. So AI and putting adverts more directly on AI can be exactly that thing your business has been waiting for. So let's talk about why this is different and how it's directly going to help your estate agency. You see, the more a platform knows you, the more it can design adverts that are exactly right for yourself. I mean, you must have had that situation where you think to yourself, is my phone listening to me? Because I was just talking about getting a cat collar the other day and suddenly I'm getting adverts for cat collars on my phone. It must be Jedi. It must be listening to me. Well, chances are probably it is listening to you, but outside of that, it is just that good at predicting what you want next that it almost reads your mind and you go, oh, I was actually just thinking about getting a cat collar, actually, thank you very much. Because the more information it has about you, it realizes the problems you're either going through right now or what you're going to come up against in the future. So for example, if I went onto Google and typed in how to get fit in 2026, it might start showing me adverts for supplements, for example, for gym clothing, for trainers, all these things that go alongside that think actually you've requested this search, but therefore you must want these things to go with it. Now take that and put some steroids into it, because people use AI all day, every single day. And this is to solve everything from problems to work, to counseling, to relationship advice. It knows so much about you, it is ridiculous. It's got so many data points that it understands who you are as a person. So therefore, when it does come forward and say, hey, I think you might like this, chances are it's so keyed up and so in tune with regard to where you are in your life that exact moment, the chances are it's going to line up really nicely. So therefore your percentage of buying on that is going to be really, really high, or certainly a lot higher than some random Google search for trainers in the local area. Not only that, but it understands in a different way how to communicate that across to the individual. So instead of just some generic text saying, hey, why don't you get in shape this year? It could say, hey, Chris, I know you've got that wedding coming up in the future. You want to get some good shape for it. Why don't you think about joining a gym? Here's a really good example. I'll be thinking, God, this thing, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've got a wedding coming up actually. Yeah, actually, that's not a bad idea of getting in shape. It knows me and can tailor that message to exactly my mindset at that time scale going forward. So for example, if I was thinking about selling my home, it could come forward and say, hey, I know you really value service and communication and the presentation of property. These estate agents locally are really, really good. They rank really well with regard to those bits you're looking for. So therefore, why don't you give them a quick call? I can actually give them the phone number right now if you like. So you can understand how valuable that is. It goes from just a generic message of saying, hey, Bob, I think you might like this because maybe you searched for this 6 weeks ago, to I understand who you are, what you've got going on, understand that completely, and therefore I'm going to tailor this message exactly to you in your position in your life life right now. No other platform can do that in the same way. I'm going to state something really obvious here, and it'd be really hypocritical of me to say AI ads are going to change your business and then not do this myself. So as soon as this comes out, trust me, I'll be jumping on it. So there's a little bit of homework to do before you press that go button. And the most important thing here is to understand how much a client is worth to you in your business. Because what we don't want to do is spend £1,000 on adverts to get £1,000 worth of clients. That just doesn't make sense in the maths of it. So instead, we want to work out the lifetime value of a client in your business. Now, for estate agency, it's quite easy because it's not something that people buy every single Tuesday. So it's not like it's a recurring purchase like buying potatoes, for example. You're selling one of the biggest assets in your life. So the biggest part of this is going to be your final selling fee. But there are a lot of costs involved with regard to selling a home. This is going to be professional photography, for example, my professional videos, floor plan, and most importantly, your time involved for that process. So if you think to yourself, okay, it probably takes me 20 hours from listing a property to completion in total. Okay, well, what's your hourly rate? If your hourly rate is £50 an hour, for example, okay, that's £1,000 you've spent in your time to get that property on the market. Also, strange enough, you're going to want to make some profit as well. So therefore, we're going to work out what is a good amount of profit that we want to make for a property when it comes on the market. So I'm going to pick some really nice, easy maths here. Let's say, for example, our average commission is £5,000. And we know through time, effort, money, photographers, videographers, it costs us about £500 to get a property on the market. Okay, so that's £500 off that straight away to over £4,500. We then know it takes 20 hours of our time at £50 an hour to get that done. Well, let's take another £1,000 off, right? So we're at £3,500 already. Okay, if I said to you, you can get £3,500, what would you be willing to spend on the front end of it to get that? 350, 400 pounds, £1,000, where does that line sit for your business? So you need to understand the lifetime value of a client in your business, then you can then work out exactly what you're willing to pay for that lead. Because at some point in the future, you're going to set up these ads, it's going to say how much you want to spend every single day or every single month or however they set it up, and you need to go back and go, I'm happy to spend £500 a month, but I'm not happy to spend £1,000 a month. So we need to do a little bit of homework on this already and work out how much a client is worth for you and how much we're willing to pay for it. Now let's talk about actually creating the ad itself, because this is a really important thing to make sure we get this done correctly. Because it's all well and good having a perfect buyer who's in the perfect situation, who's got all the problems that you can fit. But if you can't design an advert which fits around and calls out exactly what they're looking for, you might as well not bother. If it comes to it, it's a really strong bit of text that says, hey, I know you're experiencing this problem and here's how we can fix it, I'm going to engage with it. If it's just like, hey, why don't you buy our stuff, then probably I won't. So let's look at the big 4 elements we need to have to make sure your adverts are absolutely cooking on gas when it comes to either AI or actually any other platform with that in mind. First of all, we need to have the hook to your advert. This is going to call out very quickly and stop that person from scrolling or moving on to the next page, whatever it may be, it needs to call them out really quickly. So are you suffering with this problem? Or lots of people in this area are suffering with this, or this could save you thousands of pounds if you do this. So it's a really strong hook that stops the person scrolling and goes, actually, I'm going to read on a little bit more from this. Next, we need to offer value in the advert. This could be some sort of free giveaway, for example, an exchange of details, download our guide about how to sell your property, get a free 30-second valuation online. We're basically offering some sort of value in exchange for their name, their phone number, and their email address. The more value you offer, the better your conversion rate is going to be. If I was giving out free meals in my local restaurant for your email address, I'll be beating the leads off with a stick because I'm offering such a high value item. If I was saying, hey, here's my PDF that I made in 15 minutes using ChatGPT, not so many people are going to be interested in it, so therefore not many people are actually going to give me their personal information to get in contact with them. So for example, for ourselves as a business, we've got a couple of books which we give away free of charge. Both of them took me 9 months to write. So both of them are 50,000 words and about 100,000 words in total. So therefore, that's quite a high value item because it took me a really long time to write them, and we give it away literally for free. Next up here, we're looking for credibility. Why should I listen to what you've got to say? Why are you the expert that I should listen to? Have you been an estate agent for over 20 years? Are you a 5-star rated estate agent? Are you an award-winning estate agent? Are you an author who's written the book quite literally on moving home in Slough? What are the reasons why I should listen to what you're saying as opposed to someone else? We really need to get across that credibility. And if you've been an agent for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, try and base it around decades. It sounds a bit longer. So instead of saying I've been an agent now for 10 years, say I've been an estate agent for over a decade. It sounds a lot longer. Bit weird, I know. but it does. And finally, we need to have some sort of call to action. What does that person need to do next? And a little bit of a spoiler here, the easier you make it, the better your advert will convert. So for example, click here, fill out your details, message us on this number, DM us the word guide, whatever it may be, make it crystal clear what they need to do next. We're trying to get people through that sales funnel as much as we possibly can do. If you get these all lined up, you're going to have an advert on AI, which is going to absolutely smash and crush for your business. It is going to find people who are looking and thinking about selling their property and asking questions about selling their home in the local area. You are then going to come up as the local authority and how much you can help them as well. This is going to produce a heavy flow of leads for your business, which is exactly what we want to get from this. Now, I'm going to let you into a little bit of a secret here. You have an enormous advantage over AI. So it's really easy to produce some bit of AI created content as an advert. And it's great to produce a guide or a PDF, something like that, really easy to do. You don't need to be an expert on any topic. So for example, I'm nowhere near a mechanic, but I could quite easily produce a PDF guide on how to change the oil in your car, even though I've got no idea how you do it. And I can make it pretty, I can make it branded and look really good and look like I'm the authority. Have I ever changed an oil in a car? No. Could I write a PDF about it and write a guide about it? Absolutely, I could. This is where your advantage comes in. You are the expert on selling properties locally. You have dealt with people day in, day out who are in exactly that position that we are talking to. People who they can't sell at the moment, people who think about going on the market. You know the pros, you know the cons, because you've been there, you've done that, you've got the t-shirt. AI has never sold a house. AI has never had a seller cry down the phone for good reasons or bad reasons. AI has never had someone pull out the day before contracts of exchange. You have probably had all those things happen, therefore you have got that experience. So therefore lean into that experience. Don't talk about this is how you do it. Instead talk about this is how I did it. This is how I fixed that problem. I've experienced this and this is how we fixed it. You'll paint yourself as an authority in a world of AI where it knows everything. Knowledge is very cheap. But experience, on the other hand, is very expensive. So lean on that experience as much as you possibly can do. By now, you should be in no doubt that when AI ads come out, this is going to be an absolute game changer, sorry to use that expression, in your business. It's going to be a massive shift in the way that businesses advertise in your local area. Never has there been a time before where a company knows more about an individual. Literally what they like, what they don't like, what's going on with their life, what's not going on with their life, and how they can tailor those ads exactly to that person at the right time with the right message so it converts better and better. Remember, if you work at an AI company, the more leads you create by that advertising route, A, the more you can charge you for it, and second thing, the more time people will come back. So it's their job to get you as many leads as they possibly can do off the back of your advert. So you're like, oh my God, like spend more money because it's just producing amazing results myself. So they are on your team. They're trying to get you those leads into your business. So when this opportunity arises, which isn't going to be that far away in the future, my advice, jump on it. Have that advert format we've talked about already with regard to the hook and the call to action. Have that all in place, ready to go. Work out what your cost per acquisition of client can be in your business. What we don't want to be doing is spending lots of money and getting some money back in. That just doesn't work for our business. Okay, so that is a wrap on today's video. Really exciting new marketing route coming down the line. And I think it's going to be really, really good for your estate agency and for your business as long as you're ahead of the curve. You want to jump on it as quick as you possibly can do. You're going to be first to the party, not last to the party, and trying to catch up. If you'd like a free copy of my best-selling book, Your First £100,000 Estate Agency, just DM us the word book over on Instagram and that'll come straight across to yourself. I'll catch you on the next video.